Hello? Hello? Hey everyone. So, my name is Sugi Yamagawa, and today, on this stream, we're gonna be doing another campfire cooking stream. Here's the fire pit. Yeah! And this time, it's gonna be Yuru camp themed. So, previous campfire cooking stream, that was themed after campfire cooking in another world. So today we're gonna do a different show, and also I actually wasn't necessarily planning on having like these streams back to back like I have. Actually, I'm gonna think. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So, but the weather for my location on the rotation has been like perfect fall weather. And it's like, okay, I gotta spend some time around the fire pit this week. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. But yeah, honestly, I should probably just stop talking about doing stuff, instead actually start doing some stuff. And the thing is, when you're like cooking over a campfire, it doesn't help if you don't have a campfire going. You can't cook anything if you don't got a campfire going. So we're gonna go ahead and start working on that. Yeah, we'll actually just do the now because I want to do a thing of the theming. Granted, unfortunately, I am, well, kind of the thing too of my thing of note is that firewood. Grab a piece. Actually, I should try to find a piece that I can showcase. My firewood is all oak. It's I need to find a piece of firewood here that I want to showcase a thing. I can. Okay, you know what? This piece is a little okayish. So let's see if we can get this up in here, and hopefully you guys can see the details. So you can kind of sort of see it. So with oak, you're gonna have really large, what are called ray cells in your wood, which are and basically what ray cells are, there's xylem that moves water horizontally through the piece. Actually, you know what? I could actually grab a piece that would show this a little bit better, but not going to bother about that. Also, another ID characteristic of like oak and stuff, well, specifically red oak, is the pores will be very open, which really hard. You can kind of see the little dots in the wood, but that's that. But yeah, but I kind of wanted to use the theming of tonight as an excuse to bust this out. This cinder block. Piece of wood for hitting on the other side. So, honestly, any firewood splitting tool, you want to be very careful about using like an actual metal instrument to hit the backside. Because it's called mushrooming the back. Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. So, do here is basically take the big pieces of oak and turn them into little pieces of oak. Make them a bit more appropriate for Hello, Lillian. I hope you're having a good time where whatever's going on your side of the world. But for now, we're just gonna get some small pieces of oak kindling. I have actually for what's the word? I already have like kindling basically pre-made and stuff, but for today I wanted an excuse to bust this out. And honestly, I prefer using an actual proper hatchet versus this, because it's alright as a tool for handling firewood. Cut that down. This piece here. I'm listening to my little bro struggle with his phone right now. It's so funny. Oh, okay. Didn't make it last stream. That's fine. Wait. Try that again. There we go. Okay. Be like that. Pieces of wood. Yeah, we're just gonna get a couple of ideally thin strips. Stuff that'll make it. Stuff that'll be real easy to catch fire. That's the goal. Right now. Normally you can sometimes split. You just literally grab it and split it. Or like snap it. Like pine at this level of thickness, you can probably do that with. Fortunately, oak's a bit more sturdy. Yeah. That. Whew. Come on. Be nice. There you go. That actually, I need to quick moment. I'm gonna bring back my little workbench area. Prep the food. Oh, yay! There. Here. And take. Just forgot my fire stirring stick. Ow! Up there. I have some more things set up. That's it. Grab some of it. It's funny, actually, like, speaking of, like, last stream and stuff, like, I didn't actually... It didn't seem like that much of a reach last stream. And now this stream, it's just, like, seeming like I have to cross, like, an oak or something. actually. I know I've got the matches out, but genuinely, this is genuinely such a reach right now that okay. Oh, these shavings. These are actually planer chips from Wednesday's stream. Part of one of my nefarious goals today is to actually have less planer chips by burning them. Hopefully this oak is small enough, dry enough to where it catch. Like to hope so. Your day. My day's been pretty good. I genuinely cannot, like, weather's been amazing. Where I live, so. And let's see here, like, how long ago was it? Weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. We had absolute atrocious temperature. Like, 100 degrees all day. 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Not sure what measures they use in your side of the world, but on this side of the world, we for better or worse, use Fahrenheit. So going from that, having okayish weather to this weekend, and this weekend in particular, having just like the best weather. Like, yes, please give it to me. I love this weather. It's been chilly here, but it's nice because we've been. Oh yeah, yeah. Actually, let's see. When was it? We got a little bit of rain around in my side of the world. Okay, and that was like I think that was the only rain we actually got for like at least a solid 2 weeks. Really dry here. Really strategic with the next pieces. Yeah. There we go. Oh. But yeah, it's been like, we're pretty much in like drought condition, which sucks because that means I have to water the garden a lot. Granted, the flip side of that is I don't have to worry about cutting grass. So it's like, I lose a chore, but I gain a chore. Okay, so got a pretty good, nice fire going. Need this glove. Pretty sure we're not gonna need lighter for. But yeah, I'm hoping the chill this time is gonna make the stream a lot more comfortable for me. Better way to get do it your way. What better way to get things started off? Boiling water. And if it seems a little dangerous on my part to be playing with this much fire, and it's basically a mini drought, don't worry about it. This area around me, wow, fire's getting very flamey. I knew it was going to burn up this much. I would have been a little bit more Can't see it, but like on this side of the world, fire's being like crazy. Okay. Hey, don't blow at me. Don't. I'm saying please nicely. There we go. That cook. Got 4. I'm gonna put a little bit of. Yeah, we're gonna damper that a little bit. Woo! Smoke was crazy. The fire was getting a little uncomfortably close to the streaming equipment, so I had to douse it a little, settle it down. But yeah, 4 dogs and a pony to care for. The heat's crazy. I could only imagine like how tough the heat is in those situations, like especially like having animals to care for. Personally, I don't have any animals to care for, but that is also very much a choice I've made, simply due to the fact that I don't like responsibilities, or I like to manage the amount of responsibility. Part of that is just having less stuff to care for. But it's cool you got that many dogs. Dogs are great. But yeah, so when you're first getting like a fire and stuff going, like this much flame is it's way too much heat to cook on. But it's perfectly fine to boil some water. Wait, some tea. Actually, let's start with English rose. Start with that. Have a local track. That water should heat up pretty. And so I also have been taking it a little bit easy on the food, simply because. So for today, we're gonna start off with a bit of an appetizer. The good old classic curry noodles. It's gonna be the opening for. Also, another reason why we're boiling water. But we're gonna be making like an actual, like, kind of more like, I guess, grandiose recipe. But yeah, I'm gonna just have to be like really watching my surroundings right now. Well, one part fire, second part due to the dryness of the I've had. I've got a couple. I got not a lot, but a reasonable amount of dried leaves around here. So, see me like looking around. It's because I'm trying to really make sure that happens. But I think I hear boiling water. Wow, that fire literally just. I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of like. Yeah, you can't tell. Kind of wrinkled the container a little. Oh yeah. Oh man. I'm gonna grab my other glove from under the tea kettle. Because this is hot and heavy. Oof. And yay, water. Whew. Okay. Well, this oak is burning a bit better than I thought it would. Some people consider the best flavor the cup noodle. It's a really good flavor. Definitely a fan of it. Really glad the show turned me on to it. Campfire, if you take a moment, just like for down, I would appreciate it. I know it's gonna be a while. Okay, there we go. Boiling water is in. Also, have it. It's for main recipe. Bit of olive oil. Kirkland brand. Gotta support the local Costco. Keep that flat back down. Put the fork on it. Let's see here. About there. Not a lot. I'm actually gonna cut my tea a little. Some. This jug back in there. That's one of the nice things about having like a cast iron tea kettle like this. Cast iron holds heat really well. Like, really well. I mean, it's also... I'm sure this thing is probably approaching, like, 25 pounds of metal. So... reasonably heavy. And it holds heat. It's great. Whew. I don't know... I'd say I started this, like, a minute ago. Okay, that tea's warm. Tea's warm. Even though I cut it with a little... I'm gonna let the kettle warm up, and I'll take it off. Hopefully this tea will be ready soon. And get my pancakes. Oh no. Not the pancakes. But yeah, actually kind of a fun story from, like, my family and stuff. My uncle, him and a cousin went to go work at, another branch of the Yamagawa clan's, family farm things. And when my uncle and his cousin went to this farm... So, the farm was basically husband and wife, and 10 kids. So, when my uncle and his cousin went there, it was 12. And gender ratio was 1-to-1. It was 6 girls, 6 boys. And everyone had, like, different sorts of, like, chores and responsibilities at the farm. One of the responsibilities, so one of the things, like, in the morning and stuff is whichever group of kids got up first, if the other group of kids didn't get up in time for, like, the morning chores and breakfast and stuff, it was the kids who got up job to wake up the kids who didn't. And then one day, the boys got up, and basically what the format of everything... Actually, before I continue the story, I'm gonna kettle off. There is plenty hot. But yeah, basically the kids got one call from the adults. And yeah, the boys got up, girls didn't. So it became the boys' job to wake up the girls. And basically what happened was boys made the horrendously poor decision to use cold water to wake up the girls. They did not appreciate that one bit. And so their little retaliation to the boys was they were in charge of breakfast. And what they did, boys, is they took strips of cloth, like basically like rags, random bits of cloth. They cut them into strips, and then they baked the strips into the pancakes that were going to the boys. And because this is like the type of place where like nothing gets wasted, the boys weren't allowed to leave the breakfast table without finishing their pancakes. So they would actually have to take their forks, feed the strips of cloth through, pull the strips of cloth through the tines of the fork, and then they would have to eat the crumbles of pancakes. And that's how they ate breakfast that morning. Because, yeah, they were mean to the girls. But yeah, the glove. But yeah, that's one of my favorite, like, Uncle Family stories. Granted, because, like a lot of the households in my family have had an unnecessarily large amount of kids. There's a lot of fun story family, like crazy shenanigans. Yep. Good news is kind of dying down. Loves to harder, but I. And over. You want my cooking service? Okay, fire. Okay. Of a fistful of hot air in my face. This should probably be done. Once again, your boy is kicking himself in the derriere for not having a trash can. I hate that. Yeah. Yeah, waking someone up, anyone up with cold water is not the way to go. Not the way. But yeah. With like cup noodles and anything, it's always fun to dress them up. My most favorite way of doing this is adding a little bit of fresh onion and then some also olive oil. But I also just like to add the olive oil because usually these things don't have like the most amount of fat in them because these are meant to preserve well, keep well, stay good on the shelf for a long time. So I was about to say they didn't have a lot of fat in them, but quick glance at the nutrition label said yes, there's a lot of fat in these noodles. Huh. Oh man. It'd be even better if you'd stop throwing smoke in my face, fuck. Don't do that. Granted, I'm gonna look behind. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm just doing repeat last stream. So part of what I've got, so part of like the setup and how I'm able to like do this outside is literally right around in here is where my garage door would rest. Normally, if it was closed, that like this is where my garage door. And now, thanks to wind currents, smoke is getting blown into the. Which, what's my favorite candy? Oh, easy, Reese's, 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 Reese's. Reese's is the best. It's very warm. But yeah, actually this morning I did some volunteer work at my local park, and this park has like a hiking trail. We were working on building a new hiking trail, which was work I did. But after what we call the project day, where all the volunteers come out and help out, get coupons to the local Dairy Queen, and I actually got a Reese's bowl for lunch today. Okay, Smoke. I would like to keep my eyes open, please. Thank you. Watermelon Sour Patch Kids. Those also sound. Actually, as a kid, I wasn't super into sour stuff, but as I grown up, I can definitely appreciate Sour Patch Kids. Those are a pretty solid pick. Okay. Pretty sure I slurped up some with some less. Last bite. Woo. Woo. And son, I'd appreciate it if you'd set soon. Granted, that fire is actually close to the point where actually still a little on the hot side. Don't want your flame going above your grill. That's a little too warm. Just gonna. Eventually, we'll start preparing the main dish. Actually, I'm a big fan of hints. And these are gonna be star. Brother doesn't like spicy stuff, and he got hot Cheetos. Oh no. I take it those are the crazy hot Cheetos? I think I've only had the crazy hot Cheetos a couple of times. Still throwing quite a bit. That at least means the water in the tea kettle's perfectly hot and it's stay that way. Probably the remainder of stream, because it's currently sitting on. I don't see the concrete that much from hot. Whew. Slowly. Manageable. About halfway through that. Oh. I tried one now and I'm sneezing. Oh no. I think I remember hearing something somewhere where, like, spicy stuff does make you sneeze. But hopefully it's not like one of those sneezes where it just goes on. This is a pretty. Don't mock me too much for simplicity of, like, today's recipe. This was what I came up with after watching Yuru Camp episode 8 from season 3. We're gonna do the guilt-ridden tomato yakisoba. And basically what I did is I just wrote down the ingredients they used in roughly the order they used. I have a pretty good idea of stuff and how I'm supposed to do stuff, but it's kind of a little disappointed they didn't even, like... I know with some of the recipes they've done on the show, they've actually given out, like, actual measurements. Took a little bite and started coughing. I also think it's because, those spicy hot Cheetos just have so much of that, like, Cheeto dust, that powder flavoring thing. It's just really dry. This is not dry. Brand, definitely. A little bit of olive oil definitely helps the broth on. I'm gonna try to make an effort to definitely get close to the point of prepping food. That is long. That going. Good old handy knife. Hopefully I didn't forget too many, because, oh man, I actually did a quick dry run, well, review on the, I basically rewatched the show segment where they cook this dish, like, 10 minutes before stream, just to have, like, a quick refresher. Went through it and was like, cool, I have all the ingredients, I feel confident in making this thing, should be good to go. And then I see, like, the present at the end of the segment, and then I'm like, buddy, you didn't grab any plates. What's the point of, like, having food you don't have plates for? So I had to run upstairs and grab some plates. Almost done. Well. Ooh. Had a bit of something go down the wrong throat. Ooh. All better now. Probably take that as a little. Grab this, because grab. Got a pan off to the side. And where I got stuff. Let's move this a bit closer to this side of the other side of the world. And it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. Bit of a pain. Hood. Fire poker. Yeah. Oh. What I'm going to try to do is have a warmer area that further kind of keep a cool area here. And by having, like, I guess what you could think of as a heat area of higher heat concentration, more time, In another area, you have more coals. Have no fire. Makes it a lot easier to control. That is the hardest part. Is heat control. We did. Very new. We're almost there. Then we can start prepping. Okay. A little last bit. Oh. And we're done. Yeah! That's the curry noodles. I'm actually gonna... I've got some water off to the side. I'm gonna take a quick swig of that. Okay, cool. Tomatoes. So, I think in the show, when they were preparing the tomato sauce, they used quarter? They quartered them. This I think I'll be fine with just halves. I don't know. I'll go with quarter. One tomato. Adding right with string. Have a lot. So one of the, not sure if you can see it or not, but one of these tomatoes is not looking appetizing. Just chuck it back into the garden from half my. Like raw tomato. Yes. When it comes to tomatoes specifically, I really like these small Roma style tomatoes. They're more meaty in terms of like the flesh. They're not like a I'm full of smoke. And that's probably gonna happen a few times. But yeah, I mostly consume my raw tomatoes like on salad. Of course, pizza. Okay. Almost times like this, I wish I had like a radiant heat gun because like with my tea being like here and the being there, like the radiant holes just like made that way too much. Oh, pop this here. And pop. Oh. Sitting here. So, first part of this recipe, I'm taking developed tomatoes, putting them in some juice. Basically, want to boil and reheat that down. Your chunky tomatoes actually fall apart, and part of this is to kind of like concentrate the tomatoes. So at my local supermarket, I cannot, for the life of me, ever find tomato juice. I'll just use tomato sauce. Then I'll take this, and I'll just basically water it down to... So that's what I'm gonna do. And I think this might end up a bit stronger? Question mark? And what the original... Find out. Watering this down. Oh, the texture? Yeah, that's fair. Texture can be a little... I know a lot of people like, they like fried green tomatoes. For me, I'm not a fried green guy. Ever been? Well, all the sauce. There we go. Now have our... Basically, tomatoes and water. Quick and easy access to stirring and... I'm just gonna give this a quick third cut, simply because I threw in the sauce. And there. Trying to keep it off the side because this just... Okay. That first cup of tea is done. Go ahead and start next cup of tea. Hopefully the water in my pot is... Thankfully, this one's all paper. That way. Set my side out of the way. And then kind of sort of be the... So, the recipe got more steps to it than what the... hot oaf I made last time. I make no promises. Okay. Oh. And that looks like a really warm. Reasonably filled water. Oh. I got tomatoes on the fire. The camera just... Let's get a bit more view of what we got going on. Bloop. Grab one of the greatest ingredients known to man, the humble onion. That's cool that your mom likes farmstead. Also, no fires, I can just dump stuff. You were doing with potatoes and stuff, and she was distracted from the phone. Well, that's always good to hear. That's really good to hear. That was actually something I've been wanting to do for a while. That was a really big to do. And I had fun. I mean, granted, I guess... I suppose the... wasn't fun? How long did it take? I probably spent like 2 hours on cleanup. Or something like that. It took me a while before I got things actually after that stream, but I had a lot of fun. It's doing what I'm doing. It's really hard from a perspective, stuff like that. But at least with like potatoes, such, it's real easy. Well, with containers, I can basically bring the garden to the shop. And then with bringing the garden to the shop, that one. Yeah. But I mean, that's what you gotta do to have fun. No, you gotta put the. You gotta do the not fun stuff to get to the fun stuff. Actually, I actually need to have some. I need to make some potatoes. Stir fry some potatoes this week. I was eating potatoes pretty consistently, but I then made some. I made a big batch of like a rice dish thing, like a big rice and bean mix, and that has pretty much been like my go-to for a little bit. I also bought. Well, I also recently got some. I think here, salad greens. Having a lot of salad greens. Mixture. Okay. Heard a noise and got a squirrel on the fence. Fence over in that direction, making noise. Alright. I lightly asked you earlier to my face. Appreciated it up. And just that. Boop. Half done. Ooh. Grandma makes really good chicken teriyaki. I've eaten half the pan by myself. Yeah, that's nice. Really nice. Thankfully, I got to grow up with both my grandmas being. I got to eat a lot of their good cooking. Granted, one of my grandmas is no longer with me, but thankfully I still have my other grandma. Which I'll actually be seeing her this weekend. 2 weekends from now. I'll see it. Have like a big family gathering. Which is also bit of unfortunate news because I will not. Well, that weekend I'll be out of town, but I will be streaming next week. And if next week I might be doing. I know my schedule and at that point. Now my eyeballs are getting assaulted by both in and smoke. The onion, I might stuffing. Oh, I want. Here. Hey now. Fire. Diggity dog. About what I... Mostly because I now have to make room for 2 pots on this thing. As long as none of the family members bring up the politic word, it's pretty fun. As long as politics don't get mentioned. Oh, that on the floor. I can set this on the floor now. Yeah. Let's grab. Oh, you know. Grab. And be here. Next step. Some people might not say that. I feel like this a little. Come on, olive oil there. Next step is going to be working with onions. Oh, feel free to take your time. I'm actually surprised that the tomatoes isn't really heating up as much. Have a bit better. Oh. First. Oh, that did remind me that my next step after olive oil, onion, garlic is watered bay leaf. I can do that. I can do it. Hell yeah. I love stiff cup of green. I have to get. a piece of firewood. Be right back. I got to feel a real nice breeze just now. Got it. Yeah. Fizzle. Fizzle. Half. And. Probably this much of minced garlic. And we're gonna let that do its thing. Stir. Ah. Wall's blocking the onions. How dare I do that? Starting to get a boil here. Nice. Okay, so garlic can... to there, yeah. There. For how much? And the correct amount of abundant. Rest. I send off to that side of the world. Yeah. Yeah. Right now, we're gonna just let the onions and the garlic, let that lard up, which I think we're just gonna get this to like a nice brown, maybe a translucent, while occasionally stirring our tomato sauce. Stir that to keep the heat evenly distributed. Because next we're gonna make... Yeah, we're gonna make a, basically gonna turn this into like a broth, sort of. With some red wine. And yeah, I literally so when I was looking at, because the recipe just said put red wine in, and I was like, okay, well, what to do? Because like one of the crazy things with wine, selection is immense. So thankfully some label made my life really easy by just sticking a tree on it, and I like trees, so I'm gonna buy the one with a tree on it. And that was my entire decision-making process. Oh yeah, also, a bit of a note. In the original recipe in the show, I'm supposed to add pork chops to this pot after the onions are done. And I cook those, and then like the red wine, some water. Red wine, water, bay leaf. Pork is a meat that doesn't sit well with me, so I'm skipping it. Straight skip it. Because I'm cooking for yours truly, and I don't need pork in my... Getting nice and warm. starting to boil nicely. Here, I feel like we're warm, but we're not too warm. Let all this stuff cook. I get to occasionally enjoy it cool. Granted, since adding this pot, it actually kind of created a, how do I put this? A barrier between the hot coals and where I'm sitting. It actually really helped take care of the temperature. Yeah, we're just going to be chilling for a little bit. Prep first. Make sure I have stuff ready for this, because special device to open. Need a measuring cup. Because I'm going to basically do 1 full cup of water. Well, probably 2 cups of water to 1 cup wine. Seemed to be the ratios they were using. That's kind of one of the fun things about picking a recipe from a show is, even though the show shows the process, they don't exactly give you the amounts. And you just kind of gotta figure it out. Males are cooking nicely. Granted, I also have to consider the timing of stuff. Eventually, this is going to go into here to free this up to stir fry some cabbage and some carrots. I don't know when that's going to happen. The onions and garlic definitely have. They're getting there. Got a pretty good level of heat with the fire, so we're not burning stuff, which is burnt food is the worst kind. No flavor. No flavor and only one texture. Crunchy. Want to avoid that. It's like the sun's starting to go down. Granted, it is definitely starting to feel very thankful for that. Last Saturday's campfire cooking stream, like I was sweating the whole time. I was really excited to do this. Really wanted to test it out. And for a test, for the most part, it worked out fine. Well, the only significant issue is the heat from the fire was overheating my iPhone and causing the tracking to drop out. So I basically had to like stick a piece of sheet metal in between the fire and the iPhone via heat. Starting to brown up nicely. Probably got at least. Probably have about 5. I think 5-ish minutes, maybe. Let's see. I want to do a quick recipe because red wine, bay leaf, and then we're gonna salt, stock, add because at some point I am gonna have to leave to use the little homesteader's room, and I want to do that at a point where I I have a bit of time in my. So, and I wanna. I'm pretty sure. Once I add the water, red wine, and stuff to this, that's gonna take a minute, like a minute. Supposedly, at some points, whole tomato chunks are supposed to just fall apart. I don't know how long it takes. That I never made this before. That's why I'm here today making it. To learn a new recipe. Onions are starting to brown up. A bit closer into the heat there. Let it do it. Nice. I'm reasonably optimistic. I hope this turns out well. Also, the ambers haven't turned purple like last time. Last time I had some purple ambers, but I think that was as I moved closer to the night hours. That's when that happened. Glorious tea. Yeah, pretty much just let fire do its thing. Let our ingredients do. I think what else is. I'm trying to think of like what else. Okay. So, CD shelf project. I'm gonna push back. Turns out one of my boards ended up a bit shorter than where I wanted it to be. And by a bit shorter, I mean by like 2 inches. So I gotta kind of spend some time figuring out how I want to project. I feel confident being able to use it, but if I commit to a cut and I don't do it well, I'll be able to use that board in particular project. I think I only have 1 board of that thickness left. Puts me in a pretty precarious spot if I over. Oh man. These onions are starting to smell amazing, by the way. Like, amazing. But I feel optimistic that the project's good. Right now, I'm aiming for... Should be able to finish it. Onions are starting to look a little brown. Booked. Give that just a hair bit longer, but since I'm going to give it a hair bit longer, might as well try to crack this thing open. Which, for the record, I've never used this tool. This is the first time I've opened a bottle of wine. Ever. Levers come up. And? That it? Ah! Huh. Okay. Easier than I thought. Try to get it out. First of what you did. Yeah. I do like the leaf design. The leaf design's nice. Oh, that here. Actually, I want to get. That's nice. Damn. I kind of want to pour a little bit out to like try it. I don't have anything poured into that I could drink out of. Try some later, I guess. Oh, that's 1 cup of the red wine. Second, creatively. Oh, there it is. Just work on the pool and you. I don't know how wine works. I'm a beer guy. But it's kinda on there. Oh, that goes over there. Onions are looking really cooked up nicely. I'm gonna quickly give it a stir. And after that, some water up. So I went in with 1 cup of red wine. Then I'm gonna do 2 cups of the water. Okay. A bit more. There we go. Stir. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom, you know. That fun stuff. It is thickening up though. So we do water, red wine, and the bay leaf. Bay leaf. Ah. When I took the container off, I flicked it out, and then it went behind me by like 6 inches. I didn't do it with that much. I know I didn't. Ah. Up, off the side. Oh. This is gonna cook down for a bit. And at some point, bouillon stock. The show, they used an ingredient called Utsume. Basically, concentrated stock, and there was nothing called that by that name, so I just grabbed beef bouillon. So I'll probably throw a couple cubes of that in when we get to that point. Not at that point yet. But prepare for the future. Actually, by preparing for the future, also organize my workspace a little bit. So we're gonna eventually be working with some carrots and some cabbage. So I'm going to use this quick time that we have now to get my ingredients. But stir that bait. Good stuff in the food that I want it to. Throw a little bit of smoke, because that's what it looks like. And we're just gonna work one carrot at a time. Go over there. Like some. I actually used and that's the problem with carrots. Actually, you have the perfect thing. Play around in my work area. I bet it smells really good. The onions, when they finished up cooking, smelled really good. This hasn't come to a full boil yet, but I'm sure once it comes to a full boil, it will be amazing. But right now, all that water and red wine stuff is heating up. Probably put that a bit closer. Sure, it does what it needs. Ah, it's working. But yeah, I actually really wish the supermarket had thicker carrots, because then I could have did like come in half and then like come in bits like this, and then carrots wouldn't have been round and then started going everywhere. Like these have been. Granted, it has making a pile of them. How many? How good are these? Good carrots. Granted, it is a fun thing about cooking out here is whenever I have scraps, I can either burn the scraps or I can throw them into the garden. It's all good until I have trash. And then I have to just pile it in some corner where it doesn't get in my way. Man, that to me. I don't quite. I was a little actually nervous that it wasn't gonna. It might take longer than I originally. But I think in terms of time, we'll be fine. I think so. I like to be optimistic. A little bit more. I think we'll take one last cut. But yeah, fun fact, one of the reasons why, like, this area, the carrot, never really tastes that good is the lower area of the carrot, which I have my last carrot here. This area of the carrot is actual root tissue, which the plant uses for storage. And you know, from like this point, it's like leaves. This little bit of the carrot, this is actually a part of the carrot where stem tissue, think like trees in the tree trunk, mix in with the root tissue. That's why these parts are Wait, this part of the carrot never like tastes good or anything. Not just the root tissue. It's the tissue plus the root tissue plus the stem tissue. One last carrot here. Looks like pots. Well, I might actually get up this. Stir the fire a little bit, just so I got a good amount of heat right now. Yep. Oop. Part of the process where I kind of let stuff cook. It's get a lot more exciting later. Also, another wonderful. What's the word I want to use? Something that's not specifically stated in the recipe in the show is the time between doing what I've done here and doing the next step. Because in the show, it's like, oh, you just do this and then do that. I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine, that's good, but the way it was paced seemed like there was some interval of time. What that interval of time is, I don't know. But I let how this does tomatoes, I'll let that decide that. I'm gonna need this pot freed up. Well, and freed up. Stir frying the carrots I just did, and the cabbage. I don't know how long. Oh man. Now we're smelling this. That and that. This no. That's getting hot because fire. Next to the fire gets hot. Next step is going to be adding beef bouillon. Recipe calls for some salt, but I feel like between bouillon has quite a bit of salt. A lot of salt. But this has a lot of salt in it, so I'm a little hesitant to throw at it because we're gonna get some salt from this, and eventually we'll actually be using some yakisoba noodles, which there is no shortage of salt in this. So I'm going to take the executive decision to not add additional salt. Even though they said they added salt. Not going to do. But yeah, it's finally starting to get highlight here. Twilight, nice. Fire's doing a decent amount of heat. decent amount of heat, but earlier I added a piece of wood. You can kind of see it flaring up. Can you see? You can kind of see the... that. All the caffeine done. Because I do want to go to bed eventually. Basically, down. By eyeball. I'm looking for tomatoes to fall apart. As you can kind of see, they're getting there. Definitely getting there. All the way there. Here. Granted, every time... yeah. I stir it. Nice. I'm gonna step off to the side. I gotta clear my nose. Okay. But yeah. I blame breathing too much smoke. Little bro is roughhousing with my mom's puppy and shaking the whole room. My chair, and I'm trying to paint. Oh no. Okay, that's cool. Well, I mean, you painting, that's cool. It is always know that people like to background noise. Tomato fall apart. Gotta add butter. Screw it. Fresh type. I don't know how many of these cubes I'm supposed to put in, but judging by, I don't know, one. Go with one. Nope. All get put back together. Try to make an effort to stir. Does its thing. Oh, we're gonna go with butter. And I actually personally don't use a lot of butter. Kinda like debating like, okay, what I do for butter. So I actually decided to, since I don't use a lot, I decided to go get like the more premium butter and just roll with that. Add that. That's probably. Then slice off. try not to damage my packaging. Butter fresh. That's buttered. I will kind of vent my frustrations at not having much, giving me much of an idea. One of these could have done a little bit better, a little bit more. Stir together. Let everything cook. Butter. Next step after all this, be using some carrots are prepped. Cabbage is not. So we're gonna prep the cabbage. Bloop. Ice off. Man. Cabbage is. I got my first taste of cutting cabbage during the kimchi stream, and yeah, cabbage is a tough veg. That and nice little squares. Squares, little rectangle. A little bit smaller. I'm gonna break this stuff up a little bit. Cabbage head goes. Slice off. Oh yeah, and also speaking of the great vegetable, the cabbage. I'm not sure when I will do this, but I do want to make okonomiyaki at some point. At some point. I don't know of when. Why? But at some point, I definitely want to make it. I actually have some friends who like it. It'd be good to know how to make it. This on stream. Unideal. Maybe a bit small. This is a more than sufficient quantity of cabbage. I think this recipe, yeah, we are done. Well, we're done with cutting board kun. Done with the cutting board. We're done with the stuff. Go ahead and throw it in my I'm keeping everything. If I leave any here, warm because of the radiant. Stir. Heart. I think we're gonna be for everything. Oh, said all that. Cleared off my little work area. I'm gonna BRB. I've gotta I gotta use the little homesteader's room, so I'll be right back. And we're back. Much lighter, and it feels great. This. And get up and I'm gonna add another wood to the fire. Oh, actually, fire's kind of dying down a little bit. Oh, get up. Oh, that one. Got another piece of wood on the fire. Good. As far as like having enough through on that, be enough heat. The rest of the oh, there we go. There we go. Those are some nice flames. sun has now formally, properly set. Have a beer. Pretty sure this stuff's gotta cook for a little while. This is fully... Tomatoes are fully broken down. It looks kind of purple. Yeah, for some reason the color correction on the webcam makes embers look purple. I don't know why, but it just does. But the actual fire turn looks pretty creamy color. Don't want to push this off. But yeah, for some reason, like, the embers will look purplish. Actual... The color of flames actually are. Oh. Pretty, though. Oh, yeah. I mean, fire are always just pretty, in my opinion. I'm trying to think of what mineral you need to make, like, actual purple fire. I know if you use, like, a copper oxide, you'll get, like, a green-blue color. Back when I was younger, my grandpa, he would have me burn the plastic coating on, like, electrical wire. And yeah, it would make, like, really pretty, like, blue, well, greenish blue flames. And if you think that may have been a thing to do to a grandson, it really wasn't that bad, because it gave me, like, a really nice long pole fire, so I wasn't, like, up in the fire breathing burnt plastic. Granted, I did a lot of questionable things for my long health as a kid. But I feel like that was just growing up in the back during the era where we microwaved our plastic bandit. Well, not only microwaved our plastic with abandon, but also microwaved baby bottles to make them warm. Really getting an early start on the microplastic. Granted, it was funny when my nephew was young. Granted, he's like 5 now. He was actually okay with, like, his milk being, like, cold, like, tap water cold. Always funny. Go to mix him up a bottle and we'll, oh boy, we're getting a cold one ready. Granted, it's cold. Not the cold stuff I'm enjoying. Right along. Crickets. For some reason, that squirrel on my fence from earlier, like, it's been there for, I reckon, the better part of the half hour. Standing there. He's watching the neighbor. He's not watching. Botsy. Oh, up there. One moment. Okay. So, place where I volunteer. There's some trees. that a crop. Oh, grab a few. Yeah. On chestnuts. Only got a couple right now, but chestnut season has arrived in my neck of the woods. I've actually got 3 chestnut trees planted out in my yard. Basically, it got like a mini chestnut, and I actually got like 5 chestnut burrs on one of my trees right now. And this is actually the first year I've gotten chestnut. Really stoked about that. Not gonna be this week, but at some point in the future, we're gonna actually roast some chestnuts on the fire. Good old way. Granted, these are not American chestnuts. Fortunately, the chestnuts of old, at least here in like the US, those were American chestnuts. But Chinese chestnut was brought over to the US. There was a fungus blight that the Chinese chestnut was resistant to, but the American one not. Because of that, we lost all of our American chestnut trees, and now only the Chinese one grow here in the US. Well, large size. Basically, what happens is once an American chestnut gets about yay big, or probably yayish big, basically just big enough to start actually setting fruit. The blight moves in and kills it, then it regrows from it. Process over again. Still out there, but to reach full dirty, kind of doesn't exist anymore. Sad, but there are efforts to bring it back. The American Chestnut Foundation, they have done breeding, where they basically have bred the Chinese chestnut, the American chestnut together. They basically keep, and that progeny gets bred with American chestnut. Basically, the whole idea is to create a American chestnut that has just a little bit of Chinese chestnut in it. Hopefully, that gets it the resistance. That's the hope. I don't know. Or I know they're at the point where they've released some trees out into the wild, but I think if I remember right, the initial results have been like kind of mixed. Or it should probably just can. I feel like it's like the whole thing here. So I'd say if you do what I just did, watering down the can, less of the can of sauce, and go with a higher ratio of water. Right now, this is turning pretty. Our tomatoes, as they should. Oh, I'm thinking that egg. That's not okay. But yeah, it was kind of cool to just see that chestnut season had actually begun. Because I don't think my chestnut tree has dropped any chestnuts. Not yet. I'm sure it's getting there, though. Oh yeah, sweet. It's getting dark out. Let's bring a little bit of light on. Especially considering the fact it was getting hard to see. That's the star of the show. Don't let me get in the way. Actually, I am. Boop. Because I don't want to get in the way. Yeah. Once I think this done, all of this is gonna be here. Well, actually, the bay leaf. I've got a bay leaf in here. I gotta find and get it. Done with the bay. Whew. Because ready this. So we have this freed up. Start stir frying some cabbage, carrots, and then once carrots and cabbage are fried, then we'll add the yakisoba, water, and cook yakisoba in here, nice and soft. Like 4 minutes or so. Well, it's 4 minutes if I microwave, but still, are complete. It'll be longer than 4 minutes. I'm just gonna have to give up on asking this. Stop throwing smoke in my eyes. Something I'm gonna have to give up on. Right now, I do what I need to do. Ventilation. Campfire smoke out of the garage. Got a fair amount, and garage communicates house, so my house is gonna smell exactly like how I smell right now. Whoa! Ooh. Wait, what? Huh. Weird. Okay. iPhone connected. I think it's working. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, wait. Oh. My ring light turned off. Wonder if it was drawing power. Yeah, because this is like darker now. Yeah, 'cause I do want to have the ring light on, because I do like having a little bit of extra light here. Let me go grab a power brick. In the issue. Fire to. What? Power brick? Power. Just need to find my switch. And boom! There we go. There you go. You can kind of see the food a little bit better. Yeah. I feel like this has thickened up appropriately. At the point need it to be. I'm going to combine the pans. Fine. Now that I got the tomatoes, sauce and stuff here, the nice. It's good. Stir. Olive oil. And I will grab carrots and cabbage. Give me. Carrot. Cabbage. And once the oil heats up, start frying that. Pattern for a little bit. Yakisoba. Yeah, once we get the stir fry going, yakisoba and water is going to be our next step, and it's actually going to be close to last step. It's not going to be like last step as far as like plating the dish, but it's going to be close to the end. Okay. Lovely. Love it when you hear popping noise from your backyards. Granted, unfortunately, normal occurrence in my part of the world. But yeah, when I first heard the iPhone cut out, really concerned that have a replay last stream, the iPhone actually overheated. Granted, I not only have it heat shielded, but I also have it like slightly further as directly influenced by the fire. Didn't expect it to be 2 hours. Yeah, I mean, it's like a lot of these recipes, especially recipes that involve preparing a sauce like this. The cook times tend to be long, but that's good because that also gives me like lots of time gap and talk about stuff. Like my adding my cabbage, my pan. Glad it hasn't done. Hopefully I'm being at least being okay background. Everything. Cabbage. Have cabbage and off to the side. Stir fry these. So I just noticed, so this grill grate I have, it's literally supported by 2 pieces of rebar. I noticed it was kind of coming off the back corner side of the world. Just starting to come off a little bit. So we do not want that. That's not ideal. I don't know how I would feel if... Oh, wow. Okay, well... Actually, hold on a second. I'm gonna disable the ring light right, because... So, you may have noticed that things have just gotten a lot brighter. I basically have a motion light. Well, motion like security light in the garage, and yeah, it's just went off. But I actually like it because this is actually pretty good light. Okay. Fire a little bit. That way we down the heat. Bring this dish to getting close to the end. Really wish my model wasn't blocking the other. Trying to keep like this area like a cool area. Granted, little bit. But oh yeah, also, whenever I do streams, I also like to talk about like stuff in the pipeline, stuff I want to do eventually. So what next week is probably going to be is, as I mentioned before, Wednesday's going to be finishing the CD shelf, and then on weekend, I don't know specifically what day it's going to be, because what the next thing I do on next weekend, kind of a big project. Well, not super big project, but it's going to be making salsa and canning it. And that may not sound like the biggest exciting thing ever, but I'm currently sitting on 80 cups of tomato juice that I've got frozen. And I will say, I'm going to be really excited to actually free up freezer space that all this tomato juice is taking up in my freezer. Well, 2 freezers. I mean, I've got 2 fridges at the house, and the better part of both freezers are just full of tomato juice right now. Because I basically, when like summer first hit, got that like first really good flush of tomato harvest, I juiced a whole bunch of tomatoes. I think over the course of like 3 or 4 weeks, I did like separate juicings, because you know tomatoes don't stay super fresh forever. Ooh, that heat's picking up. Let's see here. Oh, my mom's mom and food. It's not really fun, but it is. But it depends. I mean, canning's just it's a process. thing. It's like what we've done today. Where what we've done today can be enjoyed today, and honestly, judging by the sheer amount of sauce I'm gonna have here, like this is gonna be food for a while. I actually have to do that. Sure, that won't be a problem at all. Yeah, but the fun thing about canning, though, is you can enjoy the fruits of your labor like a year past having done that labor. Like, that's the fun thing about canning, is you get to enjoy the fruits of your labor much further beyond than when you did the thing. But my family is always like canned salsa. Well, we're big on canning salsa and canning green beans. I like green beans, but I'm not like super big on green. Like if I'm at if I'm at a Cracker Barrel, usually what I'll get at a Cracker Barrel is I'll get like their veggie platter, and I think that's like 4 sides, and I'll get like mac cheese, potatoes, well, mashed potatoes, and green beans, and I think a biscuit. But I would my normal order at Cracker Barrel. Granted, I don't go that often. I only go when I'm with family. I only go when I'm with family that likes Cracker Barrel. But yeah, green beans are alright, but they're not like so good where I want to like seek that out. Salsa, though, I eat salsa probably like at least 5 times a week. I love salsa. I like canned green beans, but I really like canned deer meat. It's so good. Ooh, canned deer meat? Huh. Neat. I'm not a hunter, but my bestie is. And he usually freezes his meat, but he will also make a good... he sometimes makes deer jerky. And deer jerky is really good. I really like deer. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I really hope he's successful with bringing down a deer. Because... the first time I ever had curry is when I had another friend of mine make curry in a crock pot with venison that my other friend had hunted and killed. And that was some really good curry. And I would really like to make some curry with venison. But that's deer season. Well, I don't know if so my friend, he hunts in modern gun and in muzzleloader. And in my neck of woods, that's not going to be until like earliest would be the first week of November. Latest, I think it's like first or second week. All I know is usually in the month of November, I don't see my bestie because he's too busy hunting. Or he's trying to hunt. He didn't come up with anything last year, but it's just how the hunt goes sometimes. So I'm hoping he bags a deer this year. Hey. Okay. First Oktoberfest is done. I'm also gonna take a moment to sip some water. Enjoy alcohol, whatever manner that's safe for you, but regardless of how you consume alcohol, always drink water with it. That is the best way to have a good healthy relationship with Mr. Alcohol. So always drink water. And always have like a little bit of food. Also, like getting back to like the topic of how long this took. Those embers are looking purple right now. But yeah. Second Oktoberfest is going to be Samuel Adams. Probably the most classic mass market one that I enjoy, because I really do like to support my local craft brewery. So I don't typically drink too much of the mass market stuff. So, with the stir fry, be here. My mom's friend's husband gives us cow and deer on steer, and he'll give us cow when it goes down and stuff. Luckily, the cow doesn't have any meds, so it's really nice. That's cow we got. Took us over like 5 hours, not 5, but 7 hours to cut up and stuff. It sounds like cutting up a cow. Ooh. Okay, so a bit of a packet. Here's the spices. Granted, it's nice that you have someone who can like put a cow on your doorstep, but on one hand, it's exciting. On the other hand, congratulations, received 7 hours of labor. But I still think that's cool, though. There. Let's do the sentiment. Large amount. I actually have some family members. I think things they would do, getting like reasonable price meat, they would take like what specifically, but they'll like them a couple other families come together. They'll basically buy a cow. They'll send the cow to like a local butcher. Will butcher the cow, and then the families will like divide up from the cow amongst them. I think that was kind of like a portable have beef. Not sure what you would call that. It's cow shed or something. Not what it. Parents were really surprised at how I was. That was the first cow I ever helped with, and I'm good with a knife and so I got to work and get it done. Nice. That your parents that kind of like trust in. Yeah. But yeah, it's good that you're good with a knife and responsible with it. My dad, at one point in time, he actually worked in a butcher shop. Well, not a butcher shop, an actual slaughterhouse where they like mass slaughter cattle. And he actually told me one day, working, doing his thing, and then he reached up to grab something, and his thumb didn't work anymore, and he accidentally cut a tendon in his thumb. And I think that's like the only like major workplace injury my dad ever had, is that he cut a tendon in his thumb while slaughtering cattle. Bro was doing. Come on. I did with 2. Wait. Hell yeah. I mean, just because someone's been doing something for necessarily good at it. Or what I think is more usually the case is adjacent skills. Who knows, maybe he's been cut myself twice wiping. That's it. Granted, I'm sure those cuts don't. I'm sure those are rough cuts. I mean, I honestly can't even think about the number of times I've like nicked my hands with them. I haven't had any. I have had one big knife injury that was my fault. Not sure if I can get this up. You can kind of see it, but that little bit of that thumb there, this piece. What was happening? Well, what happened was, almost cut my nail. Oh. Okay, I've had a few, probably like 2 or 3 experiences of an object going in between my nail and my finger, and that is a unique level of pain. But yeah, I'm left-handed, and I was holding a thing, and I was trying to scrape some goo off that. I basically put too much effort into it, and I eventually got through it, and then the knife pretty much went into the side of my thumb and actually created a mini blood explosion. And the fun thing about that is I was actually working with that day, and I basically went to her, told her what had happened. Better or worse, like, wash the wound out, all that good stuff. Bathroom. Her know that. That off the but dude, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Oh, I went to the bathroom to wound out and stuff. As I was doing that, my sister went back to the place where I hurt myself, and later she came back and like, it looked like someone got murdered there. And I was like, neat! Good to know I can leave a nice murder scene on accident with my own blood. Up the heat a little. Because I was hoping to have a pretty nice boil here. I don't have a nice... Up back. My little chair. But yeah. Add some more firewood. I brought this a little bit off. Oh! But your stream's been great background. Hey, that's a hell of a compliment. Thank you. Thank you very much, Lillian. I appreciate that. Because I'm mostly someone whose primary motivation, whatever, very much, how do I say, personal interest, but personal interest plus a lot of doing this involves skills I don't actually, skills that I haven't really honed, and a big part of what I'm trying to do actually hone those skills. It's always good to get positive feedback. Powder smell. And alright. And oh, this little dry packet of stuff is, as you can see, looks a lot like our cabbage and carrots, because it's the dried version. And I'm just gonna throw it in there because I have it. Also, this is the longest I've talked with a streamer. That's been well, that's nice to hear. This is really boiling. I'm trying to take that off the heat. Get that seasoning packet stirred. That nice done. Apparently this. Oh, what that tells me. Grab a glove. I want to be over here. There. That should do it. But yeah, you may have noticed it got light wind. Definitely stoked flames on this fire. But yeah, I'm always glad that people enjoyed themselves. Man, it's warm. Definitely. So that needs to be toward probably this, the yakisoba noodles, those just literally just. Thing is, rebar. Hopefully I can slowly, and more importantly, safely. And by safely, I mean for the safety of my food. Been a labor of love for a while. Watching you was making. But yeah, this is also part of the reason why I had those cup noodles. Well, one reason of two. First one is I knew if I didn't have like a little bit of something at the beginning, I would basically be very hungry with myself and potentially also very angry. Then that's like reason one. The second reason is I kind of want. I knew the first time I did the like camp theme, campfire cooking, is I definitely want to do the cup noodles, but the cup noodles alone isn't a stream. Take a switch here. But yeah, these noodles are almost done. Almost done. Let me grab a fork, and I'm gonna. There is some serious heat coming from the fire right now. Okay. Sweetums. Sweetums. Good news. Cover my pot of sauce. That's pot of sauce. My apologies, I do not have enough light to make it look. Oh, wait. And then the yakisoba, I'm gonna let that cook 1 more minute. Then it's coming off. Light up. Got quite a. Granted, I did want to be a little like overabundant with it because I wanted to make sure there was like enough liquid for the yakisoba noodle to absorb. Otherwise, the noodles could end up a little bit on the. I don't think anyone here enjoys dry noodles. But to protect my small piece of plywood that's my like workstation. I've been really wanting / baking stream. I mean, I'd say like as far as like too nervous to like just go ahead and go for it, and to like also like kind of like offer additional advice. That is do what you can to put any ball, well, as many balls in your court as you can. So stuff along those lines would be like cooking a recipe that's familiar to you. See, there's cooking a recipe that's familiar to you. I'd say that's a big one. Something I actually did for the for my first campfire cooking stream was I didn't make much of an effort. I basically, hey, this is a thing I'm doing, blah blah blah, whatever. Oh yeah, looks great. But the bottom of this is probably covered with so much soot. Yeah, now you can really see that fire. That's good fire. So, do something that's comfortable to you. Set yourself up in such a way where you're not. Don't try to create like a lot of. I would personally recommend don't try to create like a. Do it, so that way, like a lot of quote unquote risk. Because that's what I did the first time. The first time I did like this style of like stream, and I'm glad I did because, well, like I had my iPhone go out simply because of like the heat from the fire caused it to go out, and there's a lot of technical stuff. I'm a fairly technically inclined individual, but I'm not like the most technically inclined person. I always wanted to like double check and make sure like making all this stuff. Do I have like for it? Like I would say like, and also always like, for example, like this. I probably want to try and figure out some way I can kind of make a bit more. What is it? Shelf space? Open space? Space where it can set. Yeah, I've kind of got like stuff set everywhere, and for the, I mean, for the most part, it's kind of fine, but it does make it a little chaotic. Oh, where did I set this thing? Also, when you're holding a thing, make room here for a thing, and then like I always actually, I mean, this may perhaps be a little bit ambitious, or it might make you feel, I don't know, but in woodworking, if I'm gonna make a cut, especially if I'm gonna make a cut that I've never made before, I will always do what's called a dry run, where I basically take my workpiece, I either move it across my tool or I move my tool across my workpiece, depending on the tool. And basically what I'm trying to do is, it's like, okay, if I do this, how does that feel like? For example, last stream, when I was milling the sassafras board, the edge of my sassafras boards, pretend this is the edge of my sassafras boards, edge of my board. My hand here is the edge of my board. I had a shelf right about here. I had to bring a hand plane up and then take it along that edge. And I made sure to do dry run before I actually like did the actual thing. So not sure kind of what setup you're doing, but who knows? Just put yourself in your setup. Don't go live. Just cook. And then just imagine you're. Then you can do like a and then that's basically just a test run. When leading up to what I was doing with this stuff, that's kind of what I did with my brewing. Whenever I would like brew beer, I would always just like, well, originally I used to do it outside because I had a really good spot outside to do everything. But I knew I was gonna like make content stuff. I knew I was going to have to do it inside, and I was going to have to do it like near my setup and stuff. And I made sure prior to the small being done and stuff that I would brew basically roundabouts where's in the vicinity of my setup, and it's somewhat similar to how I would do it if I was actually. That was a thing like I did kind of like building up to everything. I would say like with anything, always look for like small ways to improve. And decide to just go for it and you don't have like the most sense, then just go for it. Don't talk about it a whole lot. Just do it and then look back on it, how it went. Okay. Enough rambling. There's food to be put on a plate. So I'm gonna grab a scoop of this. And this stuff is warm. Not much steam. Get some veg in there. I'm a fan of veg. How much noodle? Right now I only have my laptop and iPad and oh, no problem. Always been camera shy, so that helps a lot. Oh. No problem. I mean, I'm not so much like camera shy, it's just so much. Personally, I'm the type of person who, like, I get real nervous when I do a thing that I haven't done before. That's pretty much a lot of what this is. Earlier recipe, half the cabbage, half the onions, some of the cabbage, carrots, it's cooked and stuff. So I'm gonna take this moment to add stuff that didn't get. Speaking about that. Probably I forgot. Granted, this stuff actually really does smell. Oh yeah. I hope it looks. Generous, but and I don't like the color. I had more light. Better. Well, wait, it's not done. One more step. That is Parmesan cheese. This is supposedly the last step of the recipe. Yeah. Granted, considering how tomato-based this is, it should go well with Parmesan cheese. Always with things. Always try to like, kind of savor the. Try to get like a little bit of the sauce. A little bit of the Parmesan, cabbage. Oh wow. Actually pretty good. Wow, that's pretty good. So there's like a really nice rich flavor to the sauce. It's a hair bit tomatoey, but not overpoweringly. Actually pretty well balanced. And I guess it's saltiness. Then like the fresh like cabbage and like ID carrot next. Oh yeah. Pretty much the same experience, but with like the crunchiness with slight sweetness of a carrot. Granted, I really want to compare it to like a carrot from. I've almost finished eating, and I've made a full pack of sour. Glad you're enjoying your Sour Patch Kid. Okay. Let's try the star of the show. Oh. Oh. Managed to cook the noodles perfectly. Good job, me. Like, the sauce is, like, definitely a nice level depth of flavor. I definitely did not oversalt. Good. A little nervous about being a little oversalted side due to the amount of salt that the seasonings, yakisoba, plus also the bouillon I put in here. Yes. Bouillon was the only thing in here that had like a fair amount of salt to it. Now, challenge accepted it. It's trying the complete version. Noodles plus veg. Ooh. That's really good. Really, really good. Oh. Overall, evaluation time. So, recipe as a whole. Personally, I want to put it in the alright camp. Like, it's fine. The ambiguity, the lack of form that the recipe had in the show makes it really hard, I feel like, to dial in the recipe. I mean, definitely have a good thing going for it. But some of the questions I have, decision is, you're going to make a separate sauce? Why would you use the seasoning packet? Things I'm kind of like questioning. Granted, I suppose I should probably and try some noodles. Just the noodles with the seasoning packet and see how that flavor is what sauce had. A little bit salty. Okay. So not as like, so I'd say this fire, you're cool, but a little bit more of the focus is happening. Flavor with just the seasoning packet, it's definitely not. This is definitely a nice, rich, deep flavor. It's good. considering time and complexity, would I repeat duty? Maybe. So, to the fact that I've got plate of food I have now, this plate of food, sauce, fresh stuff. This is probably days. I'm pretty sure it's at least going to take 3 meals of eating leftovers for me to finish them. This is probably like 3 meals. Which is what I mean to say is, if I was cooking for myself, I probably will not make this. But I'm cooking other people, like if I wanted to make like a big ol' and individuals who are also fans of the show Yuru, you know what? I'll do it. Hell yeah. Go for it. But as far as like making this for myself, probably the only time. Otherwise, it's good. If I was to give this a star rating, I'd do 4 out of 5 stars. Primarily due to the reason why I'm taking a star off is the lack of concrete information in the recipe. So it kind of had to guess at some ratio. Overall, the result's fine. This plate of food's getting finished. Not gonna finish it on stream because I don't think it's all that interesting to stuff your face on stream. Eat a little bit on stream, yes, but straight stuff your face, not so much. But yeah, ambiguity, feeling when dead, and not entire life. But this also have like at least 3 separate containers that these leftovers have to go. Sure. Not sure if I can combine them, but I'll keep them separate so that way everything can stay the best that it is. Pretty sure this stuff is supposed to be mixed as is. Also, I'm trying to see the reason it would do half the cabbage and carrots cooked, half not. Because having the fresh stuff in like this stuff, good, but honestly, I personally think it would have been fine if you got like 3 separate containers stuff. I feel like depending on how cluttered your fridge is or not, I can definitely, and I know a lot of people throw out food simply because they just don't know what's in their fridge. I feel like that makes it a little bit hard for me to like super recommend this recipe. But I'm happy with it. I think what other thoughts I mean, it's definitely fun from the perspective of, hey, this is a dish that was made in the show. But like thinking back to last week's recipe, thought that other than the bread, because it does pair well with French bread, which I did buy French bread and I bought it from Costco, so I got like 2 big loaves. But bread freezes reasonably, so I could freeze extra bread, keep it off the side, good, and then I just have to take it out like probably like 12 hours, let it thaw in the fridge. 12 hours before I actually eat. Whereas this is a little bit more complex. Pot of food, literally just a pot. It all goes one piece of Tupperware. Take out what you need. But this was fun. I definitely myself. Items finish. There. Oh. Third thing. It's actually going to be homebrew. Well, Lillian, I'm glad you liked it. I had fun doing it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. As for me, I had a meal to finish off, a meal to pack up. Well, meals to pack up. This, and then I have a whole shop to put back together, and then I get to get ready for. Also, just a quick fun story. I was so focused on making sure I had all the right ingredients for today's recipe. I actually forgot to buy some stuff I need for tomorrow's recipe. But that's fine. Tomorrow's recipe is actually going to be quick and easy, very familiar. But yeah, I will be doing another campfire cooking because I like to overschedule myself. I'm gonna at 10:30. Yeah. Hope anyone and everyone had a great time. Take care of yourselves out there. Yeah, live your best life out there. You all get one shot at it. Hope you had a good evening. I'm trying to make it. Hey, if you don't make it, that's fine. But yeah, I will. I mean, I've got some really good food here, so I definitely plan to have a good rest of my evening. And I hope you do too. And take care, everyone. Bye-bye.